Hello, everyone. My name is Nate, and I am an alcoholic. Thank God for another day clean and sober. Thank God for the sitting down process and that place of recovery that provided me with that process. I want to start off today with this second session of Life on Life Terms by saying that when you stay clean and sober for a while, um, you start to run into little things and big things. And one of the big things I run into lately, man, is somebody I love dearly is facing his demons, man, and I see him going through it, man, and it's sad and it's hard because I went through this same thing when facing my demons and my addiction, and it's really rough when you feel like you are powerless in that situation, man. Everything I say to him it's like it has no substance. And the crazy part about it is, I got all the answers when it comes to changing. When it comes to not changing just life, period. I don't have all the answers to life, but I got all the answers when it comes to changing. When you trying to get off drugs and get in recovery, when you trying to get your life back that you lost, that you messed up, man. And I got so many answers for him, man. And I share with him and I try to help him, man. And it's like, man, it's sad, man. It tears me up when I really think about it, and that just brings me to an entirely prevalent topic, man. That's willpower. For non-alcoholics, non-addicts, people think alcoholics got weak willpower. Addicts got weak willpower. Why don't you just stop? And that's the problem. That's why this thing is considered a disease, because for a person like me that's easily addicted to things, Um, a person like me has a great willpower when it comes to everything but alcohol and drugs. And alcohol is a drug. So I consider myself an addict and consider myself an alcoholic just the same. Anything I put in my body, crack cocaine, heroin, whatever it might be, alcohol, whatever, uh, it gives me a craving, man, that's beyond my mental control. And it's above my thinking. And what happens is I get this great obsession about getting high. And this is without no recovery. I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about before. I remember this like it was yesterday. I get this great obsession about getting high. And I'm obsessing about it. I'm obsessing about it. And whether I'm working a job or whatever I'm doing, and I'm stacking up my little funds, and it's almost like I'm stacking up my stuff to go get me a good hit. And once I get that hit, whatever that might be, once I take that drink, man, it's just the gateway opens, man, and I can't stop. That's the difference between a heavy drinker and an alcoholic. That's the difference between a person that experiments with drugs and a drug addict. We get a craving and a compulsion that's beyond our mental control. In some groups, they call that a phenomenon of craving. It's something that's beyond my mental power. And what happens is my body takes over and my body starts craving this stuff, and my mind can't stop my body. And it's so powerful, and it's just got so much energy behind it that I would do anything. And I'm talking about stuff that I wasn't raised to do. I'm talking about anything as far as, I would go outside of myself, start lying all the time, start manipulating, start stealing and robbing just to feed that craving, man. And the problem with that is that it's impossible to overcome that craving on your willpower alone. Because what happens is we have a we have two different mind states going on. We got that normal mind state we was raised with, that thing that tells us what we know is right or wrong, and then we have that other mind state that says go get this thing. And they call that a peculiar mental twist. Because what happens is the other mind state that got to do with the addiction is more powerful than our normal mind state. And I obsess so much off getting high, and it's barely mentioned, but once I start getting high, that obsession don't go away. That obsession multiplies. Whereas before, I could do my job and then, I'm thinking about getting high and this and that. But man, once I put that substance in me, man, I can't think about nothing else but how to get some more. And that's the sadness and the terrible thing I see this loved one of mine going through, man. And it makes me question what's rock bottom, you know? What's rock bottom for people? And that answer, man, it varies, and as many people is probably on earth. Because rock bottom for certain people just ain't rock bottom for other people. Some people could lose their car and lose their house and say, forget all this. This ain't working for me. I need some help and get some recovery. Some people lose the car and house, like myself, and continue on down the path, man, and continue on destroying their lives and start losing relationships with people, man. People don't trust no more, and just it's a whole lot of stuff that goes to what a person's rock bottom is. But I found that the answer for my life was that rock bottom was when I gave up on my own shit, meaning that I gave up on my plans and my ideas. I found that was rock bottom, man, for me. And the thing about giving up on self is, we're raised to be soldiers, man. If you come from the concrete jungle like I have, and I'm talking about, man, in the streets, like I was, man, you ain't raised to give up. And that's considered weak. That's considered, you's a punk. And I just wasn't built like that. And it took a whole lot, man, for me to surrender. And I'm talking about, when a person say surrender, a lot of times you think about that MMA fight when a motherfucker tap out, or or when somebody get knocked out, or whatever. It ain't that type of deal. In recovery, surrender is when you give up on your shit and then move over to the side that's winning. That means people like myself and other people that staying sober, that's being a father to their kids, that's paying child support. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about people that's really out here doing this thing, man. That's giving back to society. That's giving back to people behind them in recovery, man. And that's what the surrender really means when you talk about recovery. But certain terms in recovery don't mean the same thing as terms does mean on the streets, man. And it's a heck of a thing, man, because it took me quite a bit of punishment to myself, man. It took me losing everything worthwhile in life, man. Because I'm a runner. I'm a guy that when I get up, I got to go get it. I was never the guy that would sit there and wait for somebody to come bless me. And that was when I was selling drugs and when I was doing drugs. There was no difference. I was going out there to get it. People, when I was selling drugs back in the day, people thought I was smoking drugs because I was always out in the corner all night long, every damn day. Barely eating and shit like that. And I realized that my addiction, it connected many different things. It wasn't just when I started doing drugs. It was when I was out there on the corner trying to get it, man. I mean, my addiction was powerful, man. I was just an addictive person. And I didn't realize that until I got into recovery, started and did the 12 steps and started working on myself, man. And, it's a many years since I've done that. In many years, I've been working on myself. In many years, I've been facing my difficulties. One of the lines in the third step prayer is relieve me of my difficulties, asking God to relieve me of my difficulties. And I realized something, man. And when I do class, I say this a lot because it's probably a very powerful statement. One of my chief difficulties is the way that I think. And I'm talking about not, okay, I think so messed up that my life is so messed up. No, the way that I think is that, oh, I'm going to handle this. Oh, I'm going to get through it. Oh, I just need to come up. Or I just need a lick. You know, the way I think. And I had to really go against that because my chief difficulty kept me away from people that loved me and helped me, man, that wanted to see me do good. So it's the way I thought. It was never really, about, what I can get. Never. It was never really about what I can get, man. I was always able to get a lot of shit. I was always able to come up. I'm the type of guy that gets so much shit I done forgot what I got. I even go get more shit and forget I had the shit that I already got. And why did I buy this new shit that's the same as the old shit? It's crazy. But I was always like that, man. And I meet a whole lot of alcoholics and addicts today in recovery that's about getting shit. And I'm just here to tell you, man, I don't find the serenity in holding shit in the liability of having shit. That's not where my serenity comes in. And because, when you really doing the thing, man, and you get this stuff or whatever you might get, a house, a car, whatever, there's a lot of liability there. And people that own houses and cars and property or whatever, y'all know what I'm talking about, man. It's a lot of liability. Number one, you got to keep the shit up and going. Number two, you got to try to prevent anybody else from fucking your shit up. And that's a lot, man. So I got a couple buildings. I got a few pieces of land. I got a house. I don't even know how many cars I got, but I got shit that I'm constantly checking on. I have no peace and no serenity because I got to check on this shit all the time, man. And I just made up my mind this year. I'm about to get rid of every motherfucking thing that challenges my serenity, man. And when I say serenity, I'm talking about the state of being calm, peaceful, and untroubled. That's what I'm talking about, man. And people that know what I'm talking about know that serenity prayer, man. And you ask God for serenity and even your judgment, man. You know, serenity and your courage to do the right thing, to make the difference, man. And that's where I'm at. It's a powerful movement for a person to really live life on life's terms and have some serenity. This stuff with this coronavirus going around, I mean, every day I'm hearing something different. And I don't want this to just be about the coronavirus because and that's very important. That's a serious change in our lives. I work as a mechanic. I work as a guy that does a lot of mechanic works, a lot of body work. I deal with a lot of people. I have about just counting in my phone is about 4,900 customers. And Nate's Automotive is a shop that's on the map in Louisville, Kentucky. Um, and I have to readjust how I deal with people because we don't know who got what. I can't do my normal hours because and then I can't let people just walk through the shop like I used to. It's a lot of readjustments, man, because of some virus that popped up out of nowhere that ain't never been here before, that was probably engineered to do what the hell it's doing. And I don't want it to be engineered to kill my ass. So it's a trip, man. And but these are the changes that we got to make in life, not only to just live, but to be successful, man, and to have a good life and to have some kind of serenity. I think everybody wants some kind of serenity, and I just haven't had that a lot in my life, man. And it's a heck of a process of change. When I was in the recovery facility, there was a saying called "trust the process." And I used to hear that all the time, trust the process. I used to hear it until I got sick of it, like, man, what the hell? But as I continued in recovery, man, and as I stayed sober, as I did what people in recovery suggested that I do, I realized that the process was change. And every person's process of change is different. And like I said, this loved one, I hugged him yesterday. I just want to just say, hey man, come on, man. Come do this thing. Do like I did. You seen me messed up. He seen me at my worst, man. And it's such heart wrenching to know that you can help somebody if only they accept it. All the tools I can give him, I can lay him at his feet. If only he accepted. That's what hurts the most, man. And I went through a lot of pain, a lot of struggle, a lot of sacrifice to become who I am, to get the tools necessary to live life on life's terms, man. And it's sad that I can't even pass them off. This is a program for people who want it. There's a whole lot of people that need it. And I'm probably gonna say this in every episode. A whole lot of people that need it, man. I see people all the time that need it, man. And like I said, man, I'm really tough in this thing. If you watch my last Facebook Live, man, you'll know that. I'm for real. I'm tough in this thing. I went through a whole lot of stuff. I gave you a very, very general picture of my life so far. There's a whole lot more I could say, but this ain't about me. It's about the hope that I can carry to somebody, man. Somebody's out there struggling with a family member that they know they can help. And then, the killer part about it is I'm almost like I could see how other people tried to help me. I could see that. And I'm like, yeah, man, it's the same thing. And you don't know if I give him $20, he gonna get something to eat or he gonna go get high. You don't know if you're enabling him, which basically helping him to kill himself, or if you really helping him, helping him to not go out there and do crazy shit to get something. It's crazy, man, and it's sad, and it touches my heart so tough, man. And he know he won't see this now, and hopefully one day he will. But it took a lot for me to sit down, man, and to sit real still. Because like I was saying earlier, I'm a runner, man. I go get shit, you know, and I didn't realize how much you can gain by sitting still. Didn't realize that was one of the most powerful things that ever happened in my life, man. And I say this with the greatest humility I could have. It happened in my life, man. And it only happened because I followed some suggestions. That was it. I mean, if I would have just kept moving the way I was moving, there would have been no way I would have been able to have that experience, man. And both times, actually, I was in recovery 3 times, in recovery facility 3 times. The first time I stayed there about 7 months. The second time I stayed there 13 months. And the third time I stayed there 13 months. And this third time is what stick, man. And I know it's a process for each individual on their own. I know that. So I'm not, trying to play God and knock somebody else's process. But when is enough enough? And that's the worthwhile question, man. I love this person, man, and I love him, man. I love him dearly, man, and I would do really anything right now, man, to help this guy. And it's almost like no matter how much I got or what I got and how much knowledge or experience I got, nothing I do right now is gonna help this guy, man. And that's why I gotta keep doing what I'm doing, is sending out these shots of hope, and keep continuing on in my path, because maybe, just maybe, somebody out there that I touch might be able to help my loved one, man. Maybe, man. I got other people that's in recovery right now in the facility itself that I love dearly, man, and other people's helping them. And thank God for that. Thank God for that. Cause If it was just strictly on whether or not they would listen to me, they will probably never get it, man. So I say all this to tell you that, if you just having trouble with something, there's probably, especially thanks to Facebook and the rest of the internet, there's probably other people out there that has had that same trouble and has gotten through it and came out on the other side, man. And so I want to use these formats, man, because I haven't really used Facebook or any kind of format before to reach people and do any kind of anything with. Um, Thanks to my little bro, man, he kind of got me going in that direction, and now we going in this direction here with the recovery, man. Being that the meetings is off, so I want to keep moving like this, man. And anyway, I want to give you a little more about myself. So just to be honest, man, I have a serious fear about the situation that's going on now. Serious fear. I don't know whether to continue on in the business that I'm doing, or to just pull all the way back and cut my losses, man, and bore myself up in my house and just see what the hell happened. I don't know, man. It's really conflicting and confusing, and I imagine it's like that for a whole lot of people, man. What I can tell you, I do take every precaution that I could. Um, and I'm getting a little better every day, as far as with the hand sanitizer and the cleaning my hands and not touching my face. And I try my best, man. I just kind of I don't know. It's just kind of bothering me the way things is going, and I don't want to speak out on something I don't know of. And I think that's one of the things that hurts the most with people, man. If you don't know, it's like wow, that kills me, because I try to find out everything. I'm an information geek, and I try to learn what I can learn and know the shit that I can know. I think that's for the betterment of myself and those I love. But when you try to find something out and can't really find it out, it's like wow, man. You like get frustrated and shit. So I haven't really been concentrating on trying to figure out the whole situation or all of that, because I know I'm gonna be frustrated. I did that a couple different times last week, and I was like, man, I got real frustrated, and I said, you know what? I let God have it, man, and I let God have a whole lot of my days, man. I do, and that's the thing, man. For those who don't believe in God, and that's your choice, that's okay, because I'm still speaking to you, because life is still full of change. And if life is full of change for you, this is a great meeting for you. Um, but those who do believe in God, thank goodness, because all it is really is, a power greater than self, man. And I'm going to speak on that for a little bit, because there is times where when I do my class, and people kind of hop up and say, well, what's this, what's that. I'm not no God expert, but I can tell you this. There are many powers is greater than self, man. Period. There's many powers greater than self. And it doesn't have to be this thing way in the sky. It don't have to be this burning bush that's talking to you. It don't have to be all that. You can just look right at your damn self. Period. Number one, there's a power greater than me that's in me, that's constantly working all the time, and that's my heartbeat. That's my heartbeat. It's a power greater than me. It does what it does. I don't fucking control it. I don't tell it to beat. None of that. My fucking blood flowing through my body is a power greater than me. You understand? My lungs breathing is a power greater than me. There's a whole lot. Electricity is a power greater than me. The chair that's holding my ass up is a power greater than me. It's a whole lot of powers greater than self, man. And what happens is we get so caught off into being the power, meaning that because I can get up and I can function and I can go where I want to go, and I don't gotta listen to nobody. Because of that, I feel like I'm the power. I'm the one making shit happen. I'm the man. And I get off of the subject of God, because what happened okay, God didn't work in a whole lot of situations. God didn't work when I was growing up. I prayed to God. I was an altar boy. I did all this stuff when I was growing up, and I still got hooked on crack. I still got hooked on alcohol. I still got hooked on weed. I got hooked to the point on drugs and alcohol that I couldn't even function normally. And in that case, we want to say, where's God? Well, I'm here to tell you that, we were given free will. By whatever means you think that is, given free will. And that means that I can't give my will back to God. That's what that means. Kills me, man. I be in meetings, they be like, man, I took my will back from God. Or, I was, this and that. And first of all, I ain't never gave my will back to God. The best I could do as a human being is align my will with what's right. And that, in some senses, that means align my will with what God's will is. Okay, if I think God's will is greater than mine and I think God's will is everything going right, then I'm going to align my will with what's right. That means I'm going to do what the fuck's right. That's what that means. And it doesn't mean, okay, I go hand my will off. I'm like a quarterback. I'll go hand my will off to the, to the fullback, whatever. He run with my wheel up so far, then I come get my wheel back. That ain't got nothing to do with it, man. And me being a mechanic in a mechanic shop, I realized that people bring their cars to me, and what happens is they hand me the keys and they turn their car over to the care of a mechanic. Period. Turn their car over to the care of a mechanic. When I fix their car and I call them and give them their car back, I turn their car back over to them. So I realized that, they don't come in and give me that car and sign the title over and say, Nate, it's your car now. When you fix it, we're going to sign the title back over and you're going to get the car back. No. They turn their car over to the care of a mechanic. And this is what happens in recovery, man. I follow the directions of those in front of me, the guidelines, whatever you might say. I turn my will over to the care of somebody who's already recovering. Plain and simple. And in doing so, I'm basically turning my will over to the care of God, as I understand what God is. And in God being a power greater than self, or God being God all by himself, working through powers greater than himself, meaning working through other human beings, working through recovery facilities, working through guidelines, working through the 12 steps. That's how my life starts to change. Because, see, if I completely self-directed my life, man, I would definitely be dead right now. There's a whole lot of situations, man, I could have died. Period. Whole lot of situations. And there's a whole lot of situations that if I had not stopped doing what I was doing, I would have probably got worse off and I'd probably end up overdosing. I know that for a fact, man. And I went so far as to what, I consider my bottom is when I finally looked in the mirror and said, fuck you, Nate. And I say this like I said this in the last episode, man. It was a lot of times in my life, people was like, fuck you. And I'd be like, fuck you. And I always saw that I wasn't the bad guy, that they was fucking with me or whatever the case was. I didn't see my fault in it, man. And finally, man, one day I saw my fault in me fucking up my life, man. And I said, fuck you, man. And at that time, man, I was really ready, man, to just change my life, man. And I followed the suggestion of the guy that had been helping me, man. And I haven't looked back. So grateful for that experience. I haven't actually set a good time for this, which is probably people probably sleep and all that. And that's cool. You can watch it tomorrow or whenever. But I want to get this a little more stable. And I will. I got to work at it. But I just wanted to cover some topics, man, and not only that, man, recovery is not quite what people seem either, man, and not quite what people think it is. And people think, hey man, we I ain't an alcoholic, or I ain't an addict. I like alcohol, or I ain't alcoholic. I like drugs. And there was a guy that used to come in. He was a doctor, man. He used to teach class at the recovery facility I was at. And I asked him that question, man. I said, why do people, who say call themselves addicts and say they're not alcoholics, and people call themselves alcoholics and say they're not addicts? He said, let an addict drink long enough, he'll know he's alcoholic. And he said, let an alcoholic do any drugs, he'll know he's an addict. And I said, damn. So that's why, I can sit here and tell you that I am an alcoholic and I am an addict, because the disease of addiction applies to alcohol and any other drug. And that's what we talking about, man. We talk about the disease of addiction, and we talk about change. And a whole lot of things start to change once you start to recover. And what I mean by recover is, I'm talking about not get the stuff back that you had, but we start getting some feelings back that we had. We start getting some thoughts back that we had that was positive. When we had them little shiny eyes, and we was looking to the sky and saying, I could do anything in the world, man, and I just want to be good. I want to be considered great. When we was kids, man, we start getting those kind of feelings back, man, and that's a powerful thing for a person, period. Because growing up, man, becoming an adult, you start to lose those starry-eyed dreams, man. You start to lose that. And I'm at the point now where, I feel like I lost that and then I gained it back. So I'm back starry eyed. Like I could do whatever. And sometimes I shoot for the stars, man. Sometimes I do. And I could see myself now caught up, man. I lie to y'all not, man. Just getting this shop established, man, years ago. Hell, I used to do 60, 70 hours. I'm talking about straight. I'm talking about work day and night straight. I'm talking about no drugs, no alcohol, nothing. I'm talking about just be up and gone off of it. And like people looking at me like I'm high as hell. You know what I'm saying? I heard several times on the streets, Nate doing crack again, and it was crazy, man. And this is years, and I've had this shop, man, 9 years plus, man. And I'm telling you right now, man, it was amazing. But I see where my energy lies, man. My energy lies in the drive that I have for life. That's where it lies at, man. And I've been self-directed many years, and now I'm God directed, and that's a big difference, man. And it's like, it's almost like how the Bible said, if God is with you, who can be against you, man? And it's crazy, man. I go out there now like God got me, and this coronavirus shit going on, and everybody's scared and this and that, and I ain't even scared. I mean, honestly, I got some fear because guess what? I'm gonna have to change a whole lot because my particular job requires me to deal with a lot of people. It requires me to get in their vehicles. It requires me to move their shit around. It requires me to do a lot that got to do with interactions with others. So that little fear is there, but the fear about me getting sick and dying and all this shit, it just ain't there. And I'm not saying it won't happen, but I'm just telling you it ain't in my thoughts. And because it ain't in my thoughts, that requires faith that I have that God got me, man. And that's another thing, people, I talk to people all the time, say, yeah, man, I believe in God. God is this and God is that and great and powerful and all this stuff. And I would ask the question, man, especially with the guys I sponsor, man, I say, do you believe your will is greater than God's will? And they say, no, man, God is God and blah, blah, blah. So why do you continue to use your will to overcome your things in life? Why you continue to use why not be open minded? Why not have faith? And that's a big deal for me, man. Faith is a very, very powerful thing, man. It means I believe no matter what the hell going on in my face, I believe I'm coming through to the other side, and I'm gonna have the serenity that we was talking about, man. I'm gonna have this peace, this calm, this just untroubled life. That's where I'm at. And I don't fuss with it. I don't rush at it. I don't push for it. I just live each day like that. And thank God for that because I used to live each day, man, like I had a million years to live. I could fuck up now and make up for it, and it was crazy, man. And I had a lot of experiences in my life. I had a lot of jobs in my life. I'm one of them guys that's very skilled at talking to people, very skilled at if I see you do it once, I could probably pick it up and replicate it enough times that I might could teach somebody else. I'm one of them kind of guys, so I pick it up real quick. If I take it apart, I can definitely put it back together, that type of stuff. So I've had a lot of different jobs, which makes me have a lot of different job experiences. And I remember filling out applications, and I honestly, I don't remember really filling out an application for a job and not getting the job. I don't really remember that. Now, it may have happened because I was high a whole lot. But most of the time, when I did apply for a job, I put down the references and the jobs that I had that actually had to do with the job I was applying for. So that's kind of crazy, but just thinking like that, I know that I can maneuver and make moves to what I really need to do and really need to take care of myself and my family, and that all this other stuff that I got going on doesn't have to necessarily be me, have to be going on. And that's the challenge that we got for today, man. And that's the change we got to make in these life on life term sessions. It's about change, man. And what are we going to really continue to do, and what are we going to change? What are we going to do different? And that's a big question, for a lot of addicts and alcoholics, because man, I can't jeopardize my sobriety. I can't you know, go up in crack houses and go around cats drinking all the time and hell, frequent bars like it's no, I can't jeopardize that. So the very same goes with how do I, continue my livelihood without jeopardizing my health? You know what I'm saying? Because really, man, me drinking or not drinking got to do with my health. It got to do with my mental and emotional health. It's got to do with my spiritual health, man. And I'm just not willing to jeopardize that anymore. I'm willing to keep my faith. I'm willing to do the next right thing. And I'm just not willing to jeopardize my health anymore in any aspect of respect. But I wasn't addicted very young, like as far as to drugs and alcohol. Now, my grandma on my dad's side used to give us little shots, man. Every New Year's Eve, all the kids, all the adults, they line the kids up, give every kid a shot, and we would all do the shot on, when the clock struck 12, and I can remember that happening when I was growing up. And the last one I believe I had, I was about 12 years old. But I used to always say, man, I ain't never drank or got high until I got shot when I was 17. And when I got shot, my kid's mom at that time, I had got out the hospital. I was in a lot of pain. They was giving me like ibuprofen or some bullshit, and it wasn't barely working. And my girl at that time said, man, if you smoke this weed, it'll kill your pain and it'll build your appetite, because I couldn't eat nothing. My stomach was shrunk up. That's where I was shot at, in my stomach. And I couldn't eat nothing, man. I would eat a little bit and I'd be full. And I felt terrible. I lost like 50 or 60 pounds in about a week period. It was crazy. And so I had started smoking weed that day, man. And it did what it did, man. It built my appetite, relieved me of a whole lot of pain. I was one of them guys said, man, I'm going to smoke weed till I die. The whole nine, man. And, a year or so later, man, is when I got caught up, man, and went down. But and did my little time and stuff. But I can remember, man, doing my 12 steps, man, the first time talking to the guy that was sponsoring me, man, and I was telling them, yeah, man, I ain't never had no drink or drug until I got shot, because when I did start doing the weed, I started drinking and stuff too, and I just could not remember that, man. I could not remember that for the life of me. You know, though I didn't do no drugs till I was about 17, I did drink alcohol. I did have a taste of alcohol. And every time since, if I made up my mind, I ain't gonna do no drug, I ain't gonna smoke no weed or whatever, but I will take a drink. Every time I did a drink, man, and I had to do more. I had to drink more, and then once I'm wide open, guess what? Whatever was welcome, man. And yet I've done heroin, I've done crack, I've done cocaine, I've done acid, I've done alcohol, I've done every form of fucking weed. I mean, I've done a lot. And the thing that got me the most was the crack. That's what got me. And that's that crack had whooped my ass so much I forgot about everything else. And that's the killer part about it. So when I first, when I got in recovery the first time, it was strictly to get off federal probation. And that worked. And I did that. It worked so great that I was coming back teaching the program and all that shit and messed around and relapsed. The second time I got in recovery is when I started working with the guy that's helping me now. And that's when I told y'all I had got certified to teach recovery dynamics and all that shit. And yeah, I was really about that. I was in recovery, blah, blah, blah. And I thought me teaching class was me getting my recovery. No, that was me giving people a shot of hope, which is a part of recovery. But recovery got a whole lot more to it than that. But that was the part when I got the hustling, this and that. Somewhere in the back of my head, man. Somewhere way in the back of my head, alcohol wasn't never a problem, man. Crack was my problem. And that's what I think. That was my reservation. My thought in the back of my head was just crack was my problem, not alcohol. Because sure enough, man, I was sober for about 2.5 years. And because I was sober, a guy hired me at a liquor store. Hired me to do stock, hired me to, run the cash register. I mean, the whole nine. Good guy, good friend of mine, man. And I was in that liquor store one day. I was having problems with my kid mom. And I was in there and I was stocking this liquor, man. And I messed around and seen one of these little bottles of Patron. I ain't know what I ain't never seen a Patron, but it was this big. It had wax on the thing and everything. I said, "Oh my God, what is this?" And before I knew it, I had peeled that thing open, man, and gulped that motherfucker, man. And from that day, I could not stop drinking. Couldn't stop drinking, man. So I was working part time in this liquor store, and I had this other mechanic shop that I was still running. So I was kind of back and forth, and I started up, man. I would drink every day. I couldn't stop drinking, and I didn't realize I couldn't stop drinking until I tried to stop drinking, and I couldn't stop drinking. And I had a bright idea. I was in a mechanic shop, man, and this is the insanity that a person under the influence goes through. And I'm gonna tell y'all because this is real insanity. I couldn't stop drinking, and I would be so just fucked up from drinking that I couldn't even do my job. And I had a bright idea. Here's the insanity. I had a bright idea one day. I said, man, you know what? If I smoke some crack, I'd probably be good. Now, mind you, I had money in my pocket. I had all kind of shit. I had a business going. I was working part-time too. And boy, I went on to start smoking that crack, man. And yeah, I stopped drinking. I stopped drinking for a minute, not that long, probably for about a week, and then I was cracking it and drinking it. I was going crazy, and I had realized then, man, that I really was alcoholic, man. That I really, when I drink, man, I get a craving that takes me over, and I can't stop. But that's likewise when I do a drug. I get a craving that takes over, and I can't stop, man. And it took quite a while after that. Not too long, not as long as it took to get there, but it took quite a while after that, man, me drinking and drugging till that one day I just couldn't feel nothing no more. Nothing was working. And that's what I'm talking about, man. My bottom was when I was so powerless that I didn't have the power to drink something and get drunk. I didn't have the power to smoke something and get high. That's how powerless I was, man. And that's so powerful, man. That's so powerful because God had taken that from me in a way that I never ever thought he would. I thought God would just be like, okay, I ain't got no craving no more. Okay, I don't want to do that no more. Okay, I'm gonna just turn the other way. Okay, I already know the 12 steps. Let me just go do some step work. I thought that, but that's not how it happened, man. It happened completely different, man. I couldn't stop doing it, and that what made me realize that I was really this alcoholic and this addict, man. And once I did that, man, it was over, man. And I had knew that there was nothing I could do, man, other than accept help. So I did, man. And it was a couple weeks later, man. It took me a couple weeks, man, constantly running around, constantly trying to get high, doing bullshit. Yes, yes, I'm doing the thing. I didn't do it. So, I'm constantly, running around doing stuff. And yeah, it killed me, man. And finally, I called that guy and asked him to surrender. I asked him what he needed me to do because I had surrendered. And he told me to go to that recovery place, man, get in detox and join the program. So that's, I've basically been on the path ever since, man. And thank God for people like him. Thank God for other people that have blazed the way in my life, man. I'm really cautious about you know what I do in recovery, and I'm really, really, really thankful for a whole lot of people that that get sober, man. And actually, I'm really thankful for people that get sober recently, man, because these guys' story be off the chain, man. And I'll be like, wow, wow, how'd you come to surrender? You know what I'm saying? And but it's still, I'm still at a point where it's like I'm powerless in other people's lives, and this is not playing God. This is just strictly wanting to help somebody and realize that though you know what they're going through, though you have a great answer for them, which is basically recovery in the 12 steps, that they ain't trying to hear shit you talking about. And that just makes your heart sink, man. And it just destroys my peace. It does. And guess what? I'm probably not gonna have peace until I accept the fact that that's really between him and God. It really is, man. And it's a hard fact, but it's true. It's between him and God when he gonna surrender, man. And you know, it's just a lot there. They call this fraud the emotional appeal, and that means when you appealing to somebody that you love through your love, saying, "Man, I love you, man. Why you doing this, man? Can't I help you?" And this and that. It's called fraud the emotional appeal, meaning like it lacks substance to them, probably because they so close to you, man. But that's the type of stuff I'm going through, man. The challenges with the coronavirus shit, the challenges with we're trying to help somebody that ain't trying to be helped, man. It's a lot. It's a lot on a recovering mind, and I try to stay with my mindset, man, and I try to stay open minded regardless. But I stay with the recovery mindset. Basically, man, and am I helping or am I harming? In a whole lot of stuff I do, I ask that question. And thank God for the guy that helped me because he used to do a class called Help and Harm. He actually still do it. Once they reopen everything, he'll probably be still doing it. But I ask myself that question: am I helping or am I harming? And sometimes the answer just ain't clear. Sometimes it's a whole lot of gray area, man. I might not be helping when I think I am. And and when I think I'm harming, I might be actually helping the person, like by telling them hell no, or go ahead, or whatever, or get the fuck away from me. You know what I'm saying? And that might be the little push that they need to go get them some help, man. But you don't want to do that, and it hurts, man. It hurts, and I'm just at the point now, man, where I just need to keep on moving. I don't need to be rushing nowhere. I need to be real careful what I do. And I need to trust God. I need to continue to clean house, and I need to help somebody if I can. That's just where I'm at, man. And you know what? I don't even want to come out of that particular zone because that keeps me sharp. That keeps me focused on what I need to do and not on everybody else's shit. That keeps me embracing whatever change I got to make in my life, man. That's just where I'm at, and I don't want to. I don't want to lose my life because I'm bullshitting, or lose my life because I wasn't cared for, or lose my life, because I relapse or some shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing, man. I want to talk lastly about some relapse. I really want to talk about that. I used to call myself an expert in relapse. And the reason why is because after doing my step work, man, I realized how I did it each time. The truth of the matter is, my relapse never started when I picked up, smoked, or picked up and drank. That wasn't where my relapse started. My relapse started in my mind when I started telling myself lies. Here's one of the lies I told myself. Oh man, I could probably smoke one joint. Shit, I could hit one blunt. I mean, shit, I've been sober for a minute. That's a lie. Shit, I could drink 145 and just a 22 ounce. Man, that's it. I mean, ain't nobody even gonna know. That's a lie. Here's one of my biggest lies I told myself, man. Man, I could smoke one dime of crack. I mean, that ain't gonna shit. I got $1,000 in my pocket. I smoke one dime. You know what I'm saying? These is these is lies that I tell myself. And what happens is I start to unwind from my recovery support system. Pay attention to this. I start to unwind from the recovery support system. Meaning I stop calling my sponsor. Might be some other guys in recovery on the same path as me. We stay up with each other. We keep up with each other. We call each other. I stop calling them. They calling me. Guess what? I ain't answering. Oh, guess what? Stop paying bills. Fuck it. Now I'm lying. I start lying all the time. And you know what happens when I start lying to people all the time? For whatever reason, when I start lying to people all the time, I end up lying to my damn self. Because when I lie to somebody, for whatever reason it is, manipulation or just so I don't look bad, whatever it might be, I start lying on the inside to myself and saying that wasn't nothing major. They don't need to know my business. When somebody say, oh, man, how you doing? You ain't looking too good. Oh, I'm good, man. I just wasn't feeling good yesterday. That's a goddamn lie. See, I do shit like that. And then guess what happened? I started lying to myself to the point where I started believing my own bullshit again. And that's one of the things, man. Boy, look, when I was in that don't do it, Pookie. Go ahead, Ray. When I was on that shit real tough, man, and then people accepted me in that program, and they told me one thing, man. One of the things I used to hear all the time, man, was that if you don't believe this shit and you don't want to work these steps and you don't want to follow these people's directions, we will happily refund your misery. And that was powerful. And one of my guys told me the other day that shit, and I said, damn, I remember dude used to say that shit all the time. We will happily refund your misery. Whew. Powerful, man, because I don't know about y'all, man, but they called it getting high, and I could literally tell you when I thought I was getting high, I was getting real low. I was feeling terrible about myself. And when the shit hit the fan and I didn't have no more money and I couldn't so-called get high again, I didn't have nothing to get high on. Boy, man, that's when them hideous horsemen came out, man. The loneliness I felt there, the despair. And I'm gonna tell you right now, man, that killed everything. It was like it killed my high, it killed my everything, man. So I in the last of my get high days was not get high for me. It was get low. They could have just called it get low. When I was getting low, yeah, I was getting low. That's what was happening in the last days because it wasn't no get high no more. Wasn't no fun in it. Wasn't no happy nothing in it. I was miserable about what I did to get high. I was miserable about who I had become to get high. I was miserable about lying to myself. I was miserable about the shit I couldn't do, which was take care of my kids, tell the truth, feel good as a person, not be depressed, not feel like killing myself. I was really miserable about that, man. And I'm just really grateful for recovery. I'm grateful that I have the means and that I have the recovery in me. See, this ain't scripted, y'all. This is real shit coming from a real person that's really in recovery, that really lived a life that was really fucked up. And the only reason it was fucked up, not because of my circumstances of growing up. No, 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 no. It was fucked up because I made it fucked up. But this is coming from this person, and I have the means now to reach out and touch people, man. And that's just what it is, man. I want to touch people without actually physically touching you, man. You know, I love y'all, man. I love life. This is where I'm at right now with my life, man. And this is a message of hope, man. This is life on life's terms. We're gonna continue next week, man. I don't know what time. I'm gonna try to set a time, but it's not really easy because it just kind of comes when it comes, man. And I drop it when I drop it, man. And by the grace of God, it'll be recorded, so you can definitely see it when you see it. But I love life, man, and I love helping I can, man. I see all these people coming through, man. Stephanie Woods, Seth Brown, Kurt Fitz. Yeah. Oh, Big Robbie up in there. Big Robbie? What? Boy, it's crazy. Shay, definitely Shay, my chief backer right there. Miss Barber, Anita, my baby. Aaron Jackson up in there. Okay, here we go. Let's keep rolling. A Tab. First up was Tab, my cutty. Got Andrea, Miss Andrea. All right, Nicole in there too. Let me see who else. This is I should at least give a shout out somewhere. Look at Sam. Boy, I tell you, I love y'all, man. And till next time, man. Life on life terms, meeting of recovery, man. I'm Nate. I am an alcoholic and an addict in recovery, man, and we go through recovery things. Thank y'all.